Hey guys, Jim at Pokemon here. Just got back from Hartford, Connecticut at the first annual Pokemon Collectors event. Hopefully, it's an annual thing. And I figured I would just talk about a few things I bought while I was there and just go through and show you all the cool stuff we picked up. So I got the Reshiram Charizard GX, the Hyper Rare. I thought this was a really cool card. I bought two of them for 180 each, and I got one of them for 160 on the last day. Thought that was a pretty good deal. The card just spiked like crazy right off the get-go, which is insane. See a little, I think, yeah, that's not a nick. I was a little worried there. So I got to get one of these in PSA 10 for the Charizard set, so I figured why not just try to grade it myself, especially we can look at the cards in person and just go from there. So these are three beautiful copies, and I wouldn't be surprised if at least two of them got PSA 10. Nice little Elite Trainer box there in the back. We actually opened up two of those. Charlie opened up one, I opened up the other. He let me keep the box. It was pretty cool. Found some no symbol PSA 9s. Actually got all these from Rusty. A few of them were sold to him by people at the event, and then I got them from him pretty much right after. But it wasn't like he was just buying these to resell to me. It was a much larger deal that he ended up like these were just a part of it, so it made sense just to buy everything at once. And then I think the guy who sold it to him actually walked away with exactly what he was looking for. I think Rusty bought like $5,000 worth of cards from this guy, and he got a Charizard, and I don't know if it was a booster box or like something else. It was a first edition base Charizard, and that was pretty awesome. So I am still always picking up no symbol PSA 9s. I pay 85 for Vaporeon, 70 for Jolteon, and right around 35 for the rest of them, except for a few outliers like Flareon, Snorlax, things like that. But that's really cool to pick up more of those. I don't know if you guys watched my Instagram stories that I was frequently posting throughout the event, but in one of those stories, Rusty actually opened up sealed packs of these, and because one guy wanted one of each, so he opened up literally six sealed packs. And I was like, this is unreal. Like, you just don't see best of game sealed packs open. So what ended up happening was I was like, all right, let me just go through these and pick out like the really good ones. And after that guy grabbed his set, I went through and just picked out more that I thought would be really high grades, pretty much mint condition, flawless cards. And these are just, there's just no other there's no other way to find these cards in that condition. I mean, you can see a little nick right there, but it's a Hitmonchan, which is also like the hardest card in the set to get. Well, you got the Winter Hitmonchan, is probably the hardest, but it's one of the hardest. Let's put it that way. But yeah, this is just a really, really good looking set there. All right, what else do we want to go through? So I went through Charlie's lot. Charlie had a ton of just mint, the gem mint, reverse hollows from Expedition and Aquapolis. Not really anything from Skyridge. And I ended up picking up these cards. You can see I got number 56, number 20, both versions of the Mewtwo. And you can just see the quality. It's really good. I would call all the cards I got from Charlie minimum PSA 9, which I thought was really good. And I actually don't need this Charizard, but it's gained a lot in popularity recently due to the lottery Charizard in Japanese. And so I figured if I don't grade these, I just put these in a binder. I thought these were pretty sick. Just literally four of I call it the teenage Charizard, really cool looking guy. And then a few of these were targeted approaches, cards I still need for my PSA 10 reverse Aquapolis Expedition sets. And some of them are close. Like, I don't think this will get a 10, but I still need the card, and so might as well go and send it off and see what happens. I got this one just because I love the artwork. It's Christmas, and it's like, what are you doing, man? Still need this one, a hard grade. Don't think it'll get a 10, but I'm still going to try. Yeah, but these are just, I mean, you can just see how just gorgeous these cards are. And then finally, one of the last cards I need for the Unlimited Hollow sets, Ampharos. You can see it has a little whitening up there, but it has a chance. It has a chance. So I was like, all right, man, I'm getting sick of trying to find this card in a 10. Let me just get a few potential copies. Then along with Charlie, I am starting to build the non-hollow sets. And so just quick run through here. Got a lot of these non-hollow cards. I mean, he had maybe like 1,000 cards to go through, and I was just trying to find commons and uncommons. I already have all the rare sets finalized in PSA 10. Which is pretty awesome. So I was just targeting commons and uncommons. Didn't want to pay for the rares. Neo Destiny Unlimited, I think, is going to be one of the hardest sets. I know you're like, who grades Unlimited like non-hollows? Well, I'm going to try. And so I picked up a decent bit of these just because I don't have a lot of inventory. I see some Neo Genesis mixed in there. But really, I think these are all packed fresh. They'll get minimum 9s. Hopefully, a lot of them get 10s. For cards like this, if they get a 9, it's really hard to sell and get your money back. Just with grading fees, cost, time. I mean, these cards aren't free. You know, I paid money for each one of the cards too, so it's not like my cost is just the grading fee on them. All right, what's up next? These are some of the cards I picked up. I'll go through this stack second. I want to go through this stack first. These are some of the cards I picked up at the convention. Pretty much I walked around all the vendors, just found cool cards I like, things that I thought would look cool in a binder. Some of them I bought because for whatever reason, but just to go through here, some of them were just really good deals. Like this might have been like a $2 card. I just thought it'd be cool to put some of the old school Pokemon in a binder. And then also at the same time, some of the mega cards that I sort of didn't pick up over the years. And I really like this 10 promo from the Snorlax Eevee. On eBay, they're like $10 each. The 10's like $25 on Amazon. If you buy in bulk, it's like $18. It's really hard to get a good price on it. And people at the convention were selling for $5 each. So I really just went through and just tried to buy every one that I could. And almost every single person was charging $5 a piece. And I think that artwork's pretty sick. Let's see how many there are. Actually, a decent bit there. Got some of the tag team cards. I actually really like the yellow border on these, and the newer cards are starting to grow on me a little bit. I'm not at the point where I can just jump into the newer cards fully, but I am picking up a few things here and there just to kind of satisfy that need for now. And got Latios, Gengar, Mimikyu. That's kind of tight. So the Scream promos, the Mimikyu was my favorite. And then like as time went on, it was like the most expensive. I was like, oh my gosh, why is like the one I wanted the most expensive? So I still don't have a Mimikyu Scream promo. Zack Browning Pikachu, actually kind of an expensive card. Celebi, the other Eevee Snorlax. But I focused when I was going through, I focused on textured cards. I didn't really want any of the non-textured ones. Magikarp Wailord, like that's just kind of a neat combo. Like, what? That's awesome. And I didn't really pay too much attention to card quality. The one thing that I was sensitive to when I went through was price. So I was very price sensitive when I went through. I didn't really buy any $30 cards. I tried to just stick to cards that were, $10 and under, with this being an exception. These were about $16 each, and it's got the heart on it. It's just like a beautiful card. And I think of every new card that's come out in the last like 2 sets, I would say this is like my favorite. Like if I were to just, only pick one card to collect, I would pick this. And I do want to pick up more, but it was actually hard to find them, and people weren't selling or trading. And I pretty much just I went to each store and grabbed all the copies they had. I think there's more of these coming up too. All right, some of the non-textured, but I mean these were very inexpensive. The Machamp's kind of cool. I thought that was interesting. And there's like a Machamp where he's like staring off into the sunset. That was like interesting too. But yeah, I went through a few times each vendor and just tried to look for cards I thought were neat. And just buying in person is it's just a much different experience than buying online. You can look at the card quality if you want. I didn't really look at it for the newer stuff, but you can just see. All right, here we go. Here's some of the hyper rare tag team stuff. And like the hyper rare stuff blends in all together, but when you have like the yellow borders and like the tag team, it kind of makes it pop a little more. And so it's not just this kind of like white, like hard to see background. You can actually like see more of it. And so I thought these were pretty neat, and picked up a few. Yeah, these are cool. I think Magikarp Wailord, like what? Then you see these they don't really pop. I mean, they're cool, but it's like if you had like a yellow border or some accent somewhere, accents that would I think that'd be a little bit cooler. Look at this Machamp. That is like so white. Like you see like the other ones, and this one just like boom. That's neat. All right. Yeah, I knew that other pile was a little bit better, and then I always like the the Sandslash, the staff. Thought that was neat, and the Lugia. These two are pretty cheap in comparison to what they have been pricing at before. I think this pile is a little bit better. That's why I was saving it. Got this for $2, like literally reverse Holo Charizard, $2. I was like, all right, I can do that. And then some more of the same. See if we can speed up here. I think the back of this is the better part. Yeah, here we go. I got 3 more of these. So it looks like I got 5 total for the whole trip. I mean, like each vendor I went to was like 1 at a time. Like literally. Got some Hoopas. And then, yeah, here we go. Some more tag team. So this should actually end up being a really nice binder with all these. The Snorlax Eevee, the Zack Browning Pikachu. One store I bought a lot from, and they actually gave me a better price on that, so I didn't end up paying like the full like $30 they were asking for. Yeah, I actually got I think I got more of these than I thought I did. All right, well that's good to know. All right, so if we keep on moving on, I'll show you another cool pile that we got here. These are actually some error cards I think a lot of people will be a pretty big fan of. So this is the Crobat and Selby first edition for Rev. And these are the hollow bleed errors. And what that really means is they just have like 2 layers of hollow foil or just more than they should on top. And you can see the Selby really pops. And if you're familiar with Crobat, it never shines like this. I'd estimate the unlimited to be about 10% of the print run. First edition significantly harder to find. I estimate that to be about 2 to 3% of the whole print run. So these are actually really hard to find. These are going to go in a binder. You can see the unlimited. Well, I have an unlimited Selby somewhere. I don't know where it went, but you can see unlimited Crobat. These are some off-center cards, some really cool looking. You can see the borders, like one of the borders will be much smaller than the other border. This is top to bottom. And I'll just go through these quickly because I'm not sure if that applies to everyone, but at least you guys can appreciate this Pikachu. Wow. It's a Lapras, Dark Golbat. This might actually get a 9OC. It's a really good looking card. This Wigglytuff's beat up, but look at that off-centering. That's insane. Got a really good price on that. And you just don't see some of these like cards. This is a gray stamp Team Rocket. So as I develop in my collecting path, what I notice is there are more errors out there than what you realize. And this is a really beat up card, but there are gray stamps like Gym Heroes, Sky Ridge, Team Rocket. Like there are variations out there, and you just have to really look and you'll find them. So this guy only had one. It's a guy I talked to for a long time, Daily Bird Deals. And we talk maybe like once a week, once every other week on Instagram. And then I meet him in person. He's like, dude, that's you? And he's like, yeah. He's like, you're Jim Man. I was like, oh, yeah, that's cool. And like, we literally talk all the time. Meeting him in person was pretty tight. Off-center Dratini. This is the Cosmos Machamp. You see it's got the circles instead of the stars. Pretty cool. Machoke, Clefairy, Weezing. Pretty nice. You don't see a lot of fossil like that. The print dot up there. And last but not least, I'm a huge Ampharos fan. A little disappointed I haven't got the Unlimited Neo Rev yet. But if you notice right away, there's a big difference between these two. The one on the right has square corners. Like, look at that. Isn't that crazy? Like, square cut corners. Yes, these are kind of hard to find. I thought it was pretty unique. Actually didn't even want to take it out of the sleeve that he gave it to me in, or he sold it to me in. And so I literally just going to throw this in a binder, and that's pretty tight. Pretty unique Ampharos right there. So hopefully the error card collectors, you guys could all appreciate that stack, and you probably know how hard it is to find some of those cards. This stack right here, I just looking at the newer cards, I really like they call them the Prism cards or Black Prism. I call them like Black Diamond. I don't know what they're called, but I really like the Black Market. This reminded me of Magic a little bit, and I'm not a Magic collector, but I liked how there was a crossover sort of appeal to it. And some people wanted $2, $3, $4 for these. I found one guy selling them for $1 a piece. All of them except for one, but since I bought so many, they actually gave them all to me for like $1, which was pretty cool. But I just picked up 5 of each of the first ones, and the Latios. I was like, this is pretty cool. I'll just get what you guys have. I think we actually pulled this out of a booster box, something like that. All right, what else we have? Ooh, whoa, almost dropped something. Yeah, one of the other vendors there had some Japanese stuff, and I thought these were all great binder cards. And again, I was pretty price sensitive to these, so I didn't really want anything that was too expensive, but I wanted things that I thought were pretty cool. All right, camera said maximum file size, so it looks like it's starting a new video. All right, so we got the Alakazam here, this glossy and non-glossy Pikachu. And so I thought it'd be cool if I had like all three. I could show like the 3 different variations of that in my binder. You have the Greystar Cora, the glossy over here, and the non-glossy in the middle, and then the Jigglypuff. Some more just regular Japanese base set. Thought that'd be pretty neat to throw together. And then these cards, these legend cards, paid about $15 each for them. Thought they were pretty cool. For like, I mean, that Lugia, like, wow, that's pretty cool. I think if you flip through a binder, you see that. I mean, legend kind of came and went, but it's like, it's still really cool to look at. All right. Let's see what else we have. I think these are from a dollar pile. Yeah, so one collector had a massive box there, and he said everything in this whole box is $1. And so I went through and I just picked out random cards I thought were cool. So Shadowless rares, like $1 each. I was like, you can't really go wrong with that. Shadowless packs are way over $100. And then so I just went through and just pulled out some pretty cool cards that, I mean, $1, like literally in a $1 box. This nice looking Mew, Charmander, Entei, Gardevoir, and a couple of guys were like, yeah, this is way more than $1. They were pretty shocked. Fire red, leaf green, Pidgeot. So I just went through, just picked out what kind of stuck out to me, what I thought was pretty cool. And yeah, these are just pretty nice binder cards. So little Ampharos, $1 each. Yeah, so you never know what you're going to find at these events. And then these are, I think, just like pulls from a booster box we opened. So I'm sure some people will appreciate this, but these are just like the reverse holos and stuff. I thought they were kind of cool. And then, yeah, okay, these are the GXs. So this is from a booster box and an Elite Trainer. And then I traded for the Reshiram Charizard GX. So Charlie traded me that. I traded him a bunch of code cards and my reverses and like a few other things for it. It's pretty cool. And the code cards are actually worth quite a bit, which I was pretty shocked at. Yeah, and I think we sleeved up some of the reverse holos I thought were cool, like Togepi, Mew. Like, those are really cool looking cards. And Red's Challenge, someone was saying is like a popular card, so I was like, all right, we'll sleeve that too. But like, those are the pulls from like pretty much, was it like 45 booster packs, 36 plus, well, 8 would be 44. All right, let's make a little bit of room here. And these are some more PSA cards we picked up. So one thing I started doing was I'm very price sensitive to newer full arts. I don't want to bet on PSA 10s because the prices could go wherever. So what I do is I just started buying PSA 9s. You can get them between like 20 and 30 bucks each. Thought that was really, really good. And plus it lets me collect the card, and I'm not really going to hurt myself with whichever way the price goes. Probably won't fall too much below 35. Could go up. I'm just collecting the card because I really like it. Got this because I thought I needed it for the Charizard set. I actually got back home and realized I didn't need it, so I'll probably end up throwing this on eBay pretty soon. But when you get these sort of obscure Charizards, you got to pick them up when you can. And focus. Oh, wait. This is like an out of focus War Turtle. Yes, that was actually kind of cool. Got this from Deli Bird Deals. And it's really interesting to see that, where it's like the whole card's out of focus. It's an interesting error. And so I'll throw up my error pile. And we'll go with it. These are the corrected Blaine's Charizards. You can see the fire symbol right there instead of fighting. Much harder to find than the error version. But these are going to get cracked out and go in a binder. When I do crack cards out from my binder, I always take the label and I put it in the back of the card. So if I ever take the card out, I can be like, oh, this is the 5, this is the 7. And this is going to go in a binder as well. I posted this Ho-Oh on Instagram. I didn't really show the grade, but I'll probably crack this out and throw it in a binder because First Edition Neo Revelation Holo Bleeds are really hard to find. You can see that it's bleeding through the wings there. But 2 other really cool cards. And then if you're still watching, I really, really appreciate you guys hanging out there with me. So for the museum that Charlie put together, I provided some of the cards. And I think I showed that on another like walkthrough video I did of the collector's event. And you can see here some of the cards. This one actually didn't make the cut for the event, but I brought it. It's the highest grade in the world for the no number blueback Charizard. So you can see it's a blueback, literally the first one ever made, like ever. And it's missing the number. So I have not seen a 10. I don't know anyone with a 10. So it's really cool to have the first one that was produced and the highest grade. So I thought that was kind of cool. And then probably the big one you guys are all waiting for. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. So this is a very, very cool card. Very excited to see that there. But it's it looked a little off center. I just had to, they move a little bit in the case. PSA reached out to me, and I think that they're going to use this card at San Diego Comic-Con. So if any of you guys are actually going to San Diego Comic-Con, you will get to see this card in person there. Pretty cool. It's a thick stamp. It's like $50,000 right now. It's kind of insane, but I'm sure a lot of you guys just appreciate seeing one of these every now and then. So one thing we did for one of the cases was Charlie wanted to show the difference between like miscut and off center. So you see on the left here, it's miscut. The huge difference, you can see the card in the picture, and over here you can see it's just slightly shifted. But getting the qualifier, you also have to meet certain condition requirements. So it is kind of tough to get a qualifier, especially for OC. AMC is a little easier to get, especially when you're when it's that miscut. But the OC, it's a little bit harder to get because you have to have some sort of quality element to it. The MC is obviously more rare, but as far as hitting the qualifier, OCs has been a little tough lately. Got the Stage Air War Turtle right up there in the top left. Kind of cool. Then we want to show the difference between a gray stamp and a regular stamp. So you can see the regular stamp here and then the gray stamp in the back. Kind of cool. And I made another video with this. I haven't posted yet, so someday I will post that video, and it'll make sense whenever that comes back up. So kind of cool there. This is the inverted Pikachu. You can see it should have been up there in the top right. I think you saw earlier that, it's a WB stamp. It's actually down here. This is one of the rarest errors out there. I mean, like by far. It's just these are near impossible to find. And then having it graded is huge as well, because I think they stopped grading them. You see the top right, it's PSA 8, and so the quality element as well is pretty significant. So this is a pretty hard one to find. And then one of the, I guess you could say, hardest to grade errors out there, the No HP Dark Persian is PSA 10. It's a Pop 1. I believe there are 80 of them that have tried that are like 9s and then like 110. And so I didn't realize that when I bought it, but over time, well, I knew at the time it was Pop 1, but over time you just sort of think another one's going to be graded, and they just don't get 10s. So this is still the only one in the world. Pretty cool. Very happy to have it. I'm sure another one will get graded sooner than later. And then for the Charizard stack we put together, we had a Gold Star Charizard in there, so you can at least see what that looks like here. Just sick. It's like a black Charizard. Like, it's dark. It's so cool. It's like Game of Thrones era. Charizard Crystal Charizard, very speculative card. I think people underestimated the supply of these and the amount of people that were willing to sell them as soon as they got them. So very, very speculative card. And Charlie was trying to go through the years and just do the chase Charizards. So the Plasma and Storm Charizard, I believe this ended up being a chase card simply because it was so hard to grade. I remember Rusty or TCA Gaming making a video where he literally sent off like 30 or 50 or some like obscene number and got no 10s. Like, that's insane to get no 10s when you send off that many, especially when you know they're going to be mint. And he got a lot of 8s and 9s, so high quality, but it's just a hard card to grade. You have the Stormfront, which is a variation of the original base set artwork. Pretty cool. Add its own little flavor to it. And then last, the Chase Charizard for now, the Hyper Rare. I do not understand why this is an $800 card. It makes no sense to me, but I'm very happy I got it when I did. A lot of cards that are highly priced, I tend to wait till the prices come down. I don't understand why this card keeps going up. Really makes no sense to me. So I'm not an expert in that, and I don't know what to tell you. So I will say this card going up in value was part of the motivation for me to get these, because when you think of a hyper rare tag team and how many hyper rares are out there now and how hard it is to pull, this card is much harder to pull, in my opinion, than this Burning Shadows Charizard. And so getting 3 of these in person, I paid about half for each one of these, or maybe a third for each one of these that I did for this card. I'm sure when this gets a PSA 10, when they're out there, they're going to be asking a lot more than this Hyper Rare Charizard. So grading one of these myself and then probably having at least 2 to sell. I don't know what grades they'll be when they come out, or I could get all 9s. I don't know. But it's basically me hedging my bet, and I'm not just trying not to pay $1,000 a card for these. So very happy to get that. And I think that's everything for this video. So really cool pickups at the first ever collectors event. Let me know if you're there. Let me know what we talked about if we met, and hopefully other people can just see our stories in the comments. And then if you have any thoughts for improvement for next year, I'm sure Charlie would like to hear that. So any way that we can improve the event. I mean, it's his event. I was just there to support him. So I'm in no way sort of a part of the setup of it, other than just providing cards and maybe a few other things. I guess I did help. But, it'd be good to make the second year better if we do have the opportunity to. So thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time.